What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to
Jake and Justin in the afternoon. Hope you guys are doing well. We're so back. We're so back.
Welcome, everybody, to Talk to Jake / Jake and Justin in the afternoon. This is Justin, as you guys all know.
Hey, what's up?
Justin, how's it going?
Pretty good. Pretty good. I'm fired up, ready to be here. Thanks for having me. It's not like I don't know who you are or where you live. Just always know that. Just always know that I know where you live. The only thing that's scary is that you also know where I live.
That's right. That's right. All right, Justin. So let's start off with the Super Bowl. Eagles beat the Chiefs 40-22. Quest for the three-peat for the Chiefs ends in the hands of the Philadelphia Eagles. So with that, what do you think? What do you think about the game and the overall presentation of a Super Bowl?
Okay. Yeah. So the Super Bowl this year was not good.
No.
It was not a good Super Bowl. It was a thrashing, a shalumping, if you would say. A lot of nice storylines, I'd say. You had two players playing on their birthday in Saquon Barkley and the rookie Cooper DeJean. And, Cooper DeJean had a pick six, which was incredible. It really was like a great game. This was a great game for you if you were an Eagles fan. Mm. This was not that good of a game. This wasn't. If you're a Chiefs fan, you've seen your team win 3 times in 4 years, 3 times in 5 years. They went back to back. They didn't actually have to win the Super Bowl. There was nothing on the line for the Chiefs right now if they won this game or not. No. Nobody's job was at stake. Everybody's keeping their job after this. People might be retiring, but they're keeping their job after this. Yeah. Mahomes ain't getting cut anytime soon because of his performance. But the entire Chiefs team just didn't look like they wanted as much. And I think it is because they already won back-to-back. It's like, okay, we get the 3P, we don't. Whatever. They've been banged up all year. They've been barely winning games. Win's a win at the end of the day. But still, they've been, they just did not play like themselves. Mm-hmm. And I think a part of it just has to do with the fact that, they just didn't want it as much. As for, one thing as well with the Saquon story, a part of it does feel. I think people need to look at it a little bit. Let's just want people to let this marinate a little bit. This Saquon thing feels incredibly Kevin Durant-y to me. It's very Kevin Durant-y to me. Leave for your rival. Win with your rival. Just like, I don't know, it just feels like something that Kevin Durant did because he did. Your rival was the Warriors. You couldn't beat the Warriors. Can't beat them. Join them. Yeah. My next chapter type beat, on the Players Tribune and shit like that. So there's that part of it. Now, look, I'm happy to see some of these guys get a ring. I'm happy to see, that front office finally get what they deserve, which is a championship. The entire city of Philly was basically at the game. Yeah. So it was good. As for the coverage of the game, first of all, just like with the score of the game, it was a blowout. Even if you weren't a Chiefs or an Eagles fan like you and I are, we're Jets fans, we got nothing in this game. They're not even in our division, let alone in the Super Bowl. God, I wish. Everyone else this game kind of sucked.
It was
this game sucked, but the coverage was even worse.
It wasn't great.
The score bug was rough. It was rough. You got some, NEC front row production truck wing warp graphics back in the day. I don't hate that if it's a regular season game. The problem is that if you are your company that's 2 years that you had 2 years to think of this, and this is the best you could come up with. Just wasn't too much of a fan of that. Yeah. Apparently they're keeping that for next year, and I'm just like, why? Ew. Just why? And I like Kevin Burkhardt. Brady is just.
He's boring.
He's boring as hell. Patrick Mahomes still can't do anything when Tom Brady's involved, though. It's very clear. He cannot win if Tom Brady's involved in a playoff. Think about it this way: the Rams beat so he loses to him in the Super Bowl. when the Rams beat Tom Brady, they ended up not making the Super Bowl. Tom Brady's at the game. He loses the Super Bowl. He loses in the Super Bowl. Look. I mean, I guess you just can't beat him. It's fine. You know, I'm not throwing a block party for Patrick Mahomes, but I think I've yapped enough. What has been your stance on Mr. Bowl of Super?
So,
the large bowl, if you will.
The game was not super exciting. It's just the game was over. When Eagles went up 17-0, Mahomes threw the pick six. I thought this might be it, honestly, and that was earlier in the second quarter. Once they made it 24-0, I was like, okay, this is just
this is over.
This game was over basically at the half, you know, and also like the commercials were boring. There was nothing really exciting about. Like the Pfizer one was kind of a cool commercial.
Well, that was a nice commercial, beating cancer and stuff. That was a good commercial.
That was a nice, heartwarming commercial, but there was nothing super memorable with the commercials.
I'm not gonna lie, Seal as a seal for Mountain Dew kind of got me. That was
something else.
That to me, that to me was the second. Pfizer one was the best, just because I love the message of it. Mm-hmm. Mountain Dew's was the second best because it's vintage Mountain Dew style. They always did that crazy stuff.
Oh yeah.
They like, if anyone were to do it, it'd be Mountain Dew, and they did it again.
Seal as a seal.
I did enjoy it personally. I had fun.
but yeah, so that was pretty good. The commercials overall were just kind of meh. I didn't like the halftime show.
I hated the halftime show. The halftime show this year is incredibly polarizing. There's some people who say they love it. There's some people who say they hate it. There's no one who's just like... I mean, look, even Brandon, who likes Kendrick Lamar, said, like, that was boring as hell.
Yeah.
Because if anybody didn't watch it, if anybody chose not to watch it, here's basically what it was. It was essentially mumbling for 12 minutes, followed by with him walking around for that said 12 minutes, followed by 1 minute of Not Like Us.
Yeah.
Like, at some point, get over it.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm not
like
too
the fact
into
that like the fact
rap beef either.
like the fact that you have to perform it at the Super Bowl means that Drake is living in your head rent free.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to take a side here with that, but like this song's sick. But buddy, the song's 6 months old, if not if not longer. Get over it. If the only song you're going to play at the Super Bowl is Not Like Us for what they know, then maybe your catalog isn't that good.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, I'm personally not a fan of Kendrick. I'm not into like the newer rappers. I like some of the older rappers like Eminem. Like, I love the halftime show from 2 years ago. I had like Eminem and Dr. Dre because those are like my favorite. Those are my personal favorite rappers. I'm not a Kendrick Lamar fan. I'm not a fan of his music. I don't have a single Kendrick Lamar song in my playlist. I've never really been into his music. You know, obviously to each their own. Some people like him, some people don't. I don't. I just thought overall it was just boring.
Yeah, I think everybody just said, like, even if you liked it or not, it was boring, and that was, and that was how it, and that's just kind of how it is. I mean, I don't know. Like, we got to see what's up with Drake to see if this stuff is true or not.
Yeah.
But all I just have to say to all those Kendrick's fans out there is that he better not be on the list to be at the Diddy party.
Yeah,
he better
not.
You have to be 100% sure that he's not there. Also, if we're gonna talk about, okay, now I'm getting heated, but anyway. Also, if we're gonna talk about bad people, Kendrick Lamar, you beat your girlfriend.
Yeah, he's not a saint either.
Yeah, you beat your girlfriend. You're not a good guy either. Like, I get it. I get it. Like, one of them is accused of doing bad stuff with minors, which is very bad. Mm-hmm. But, like, you were actually arrested for it.
Yeah. And also, unless there's a police report made, I'm not believing anything anyone said. Like, that stuff ruins a person's career. And unless there's a ruins your life. Unless a police report is made, I'm not gonna, you know...
Yeah, it's like, I'm not going to take sides. Like I said, I'm not taking sides or anything. I'm really not.
And I'm not a Drake fan. I don't have a single song in my playlist of any of them. I don't think either of them are super great artists to me. I didn't care for their beef. I thought it was stupid. To be honest, I don't even care. In fact, Justin, when you told me about what happened, that's actually how I found out. I never even paid attention.
I can't understand the whole thing, like, Because before Not Like Us, Kendrick also made a diss on Drake, saying like, it was like a letter to Drake's son, saying like, I'm sorry that man's your dad. People like him should die. Like, I mean, is this really like healthy stuff to have in the rap world? It's not. It's really not. Diss tracks are a very common thing in the rap world.
Oh yeah.
Essentially, with every Biggie Smalls and Tupac song essentially might have had some diss to the other, to each other, because it was that East Coast West Coast beef, but it never got as barbaric as it is with this.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm not a fan of. I don't respect that. I don't like the amount of animosity from both sides, but also Drake isn't performing at the halftime show.
Exactly. Like,
Drake also isn't at the halftime show, Kendrick. You are. And I hate everyone saying, "Oh yeah, Drake won, Drake lost." I'm like, okay, maybe he did, but also the fact that he's playing it at every single show he's at, how is he losing? Like, why is it that every 3 seconds he's bringing up Drake?
Yeah.
If Drake lost, why is he bringing up Drake so much?
To me, the halftime show was just Kendrick trying to prove that he's like better than Drake. That's basically what the halftime show was, and like that's not what I didn't come to like see who won the little like battle. I came to watch a good performance.
Yeah, and also Kendrick fans, I'm sorry to say this. If the stuff about Drake is true, I don't condone it. But if we're talking just about the music, the guy has way more of a stadium catalog than Kendrick does. Kendrick has had 2 songs that got the stadium pumping. That was Humble, which I do kind of mess with because the beat is fire, and Not Like Us, which we know that I don't like. Whereas at least Drake has like 10 songs that he could play all in that one set that would have got the entire stadium bumping.
Yeah, to me, Kendrick's a guy like if you want to go see him in concert at who knows where, okay, if you guys are into that sounds like a lot of fun. But for a Super Bowl halftime show, I don't think that it works. He worked for Super Bowl halftime show.
I just don't think.
Like when he did it 2 years ago, he did like that one little piece. All right, it was fine. But like to headline Super Bowl halftime show, I just don't think he's built for that.
So far, Apple has not hit on their Super Bowl.
They have not.
Like Pepsi's 1-1 because Pepsi had The Weeknd, which wasn't good.
No. Which
is like objectively not good.
It was terrible.
And then the one with and then the one 2022 with Eminem, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Janet Jackson, and Kendrick was actually involved in that as well, believe it or not, and 50 Cent. Yeah. And 50 Cent. Kendrick Lamar was in it very briefly, but like there was a lot of people in there. There's like a Death Row Records one, which is Dr. Dre's. Mm-hmm. So that one was really good. I love that one a lot.
That one was really good.
That one was really good. And then now Apple has had Rihanna, which, to be fair, Rihanna does have a lot of like stadium songs. She's got a lot of bangers. Sorry guys, Rihanna gets me turned up. Sorry guys.
Joe, trust me, I have a bunch of her songs in my playlist.
Yeah, Rihanna gets me turned up, but like her performance was not that good. It was definitely rough.
The problem is she was just so limited because she had gotten pregnant.
Yeah,
so,
it was very. Yeah,
she was definitely lip syncing. Her big song she sang.
Yeah, her big song she sang, which was good, which I liked.
She lip synced a couple of her smaller ones. It just the music she put out there. It was typical Rihanna, which is very good, but the performance itself was just kind of eh.
Yeah, and then we already talked about Kendrick's. So, I'm sure your viewers already know our feelings about that, but last year's was Usher's.
Yeah.
And Usher's is probably considered by many people a top 3, if not the worst Super Bowl performance ever. Like this was like I would probably watch the Kendrick one 5 times over Usher stripping. and
Usher has been relevant like 10 years.
No, he's not been relevant in like 10 years. So it's like that's weird. Apple, you got to do better. I love your phones. Love your phones.
Yeah, your phones are great.
Love your phone. Your tech is great. But like if you're gonna sponsor a halftime show. You got to have some good people there. Taylor Swift is favored to be the next halftime show performer, by the way. I actually don't hate that.
It makes sense.
Okay, are we really going to say that Taylor Swift is not going to make the crowd electric?
Yeah.
Like, are we like if you want to want Nat sounds as an audio op, get Taylor Swift out there.
Yeah. If nothing else, she could sell out a stadium.
She could sell the state. Her having 13 minutes on air alone will sell at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It will sell. Most of the people there won't be watching the game, but
They're the same for her.
but they will stay. They will stay for her.
And look, I'm not a Swiftie, but like there's a couple of songs I like, and just that will bring a lot of eyes to the game.
Yeah, and also she's a good performer. I mean, she knows how to perform. She's good on
yeah.
stage. It's like there really is nothing I could say like against her. Really,
Yeah.
I didn't like the whole Taylor's version thing. Wasn't a fan of that, but as for her performance, I think it was good. By the way, what were you talking about as well at the halftime show? What were you talking about after we got into the halftime show stuff? You were talking about the Super Bowl.
So, was it me, or was there not a lot of hype for the Super Bowl this year?
No.
Like, part of it might have been the NBA, which we'll get to at the end of the show. What kind of dominated the headline? There was a lot of crazy trades, from the Luka thing to then De'Aaron Fox. So the De'Aaron Fox trade was a big trade. The Jimmy Butler trade was a big trade. So, like, the NBA kind of just, like, the week of the Super Bowl, they just happen to dominate the headlines. Like, they usually doesn't crisscross as much like that. But I felt like nobody really cared this year.
Yeah, it was a rough. It really was treated like a nothing. Like I barely saw any commercials for it.
I know, like, I mean, maybe it was the matchup. It's the Chiefs. They've been there for years in a row, and the Eagles. It's just no one likes Philly unless you live in Philly. And I think I don't even know if some Philly fans like Philly. So it's just like
there was a guy I was watching on Twitch. He's a big Philly fan. He's born in Philly, and he even said, like, win or lose, I don't know what this city's gonna look like.
exactly.
Like that's what he said. I'm like, all right, that's a lot coming from you. He's like, and he even said, and one guy asked, like, if they win, are you gonna go out there? And part of them, he said, I don't know what's gonna happen to me if I go out there.
Exactly. I mean, there's like photos and videos. There's like broken glass. They're like
Philly fans are fighting each other.
They're climbing up flagpoles and lighting flagpoles on fire. They felt like a Kermit the Frog doll, like, lit it on fire to take a shot at Mahomes because everyone says he sounds like Kermit the Frog. Like,
yeah, Kermit the Frog also that Kermit the Frog also is the greatest Chiefs player of all time.
Exactly. Also, leave Kermit alone, all right? Kermit's a nice frog, all right? He's fine.
Kermit's the goat.
He's the goat, yeah. And also, like, if they would have lost, it probably would have been the same thing.
Yeah, it probably would have.
Maybe they don't burn Kermit the Frog. There's nothing you can say if you lose. If you lost.
No,
to him.
they would burn like, okay, if Jalen Hurts played like Patrick Mahomes did that game, Jalen Hurts, they're burning his jersey.
They would burn his jersey, no doubt. Like, so, like, it would have been the same thing. So those Philly fans, they are nuts, just beyond nuts. But yeah, there was not a lot of hype this year for the Super Bowl. Whether it was just like, it's just a boring matchup. To the NBA dominated the headlines, so they kind of overshadowed. I don't know what else it could have. I don't know if there was anything else, but there wasn't a lot of hype this year for the Super Bowl.
No,
compared to
it
past
wasn't.
years.
It was just rough, and then I already bought up Scorebug and just everything
and it's
else.
the production not being good. Tom Brady putting you to sleep, and you had an ugly Scorebug, and just and also the anthem to me was kind of weird. The way that they did it.
The John Batiste anthem?
Well, like, the first one I did, they had, like...
Oh, America the Beautiful.
Like, when they had, like, the tubas playing, like, I didn't... That was, to me, was a little weird, the way they did
Yeah,
that.
it was a little... I think they were trying to go for, like, a New Orleans jazz style. I didn't hate it. It was not the worst version of any of these that I've heard. I mean, we literally got to see Fergie do the national anthem.
And whoever the hell they...
Yeah, I forgot the one for the home run derby.
Yeah.
Did it. It was either All-Star game or home run derby. I don't care.
That was rough.
Either way, it was rough. And then...
Next day, he's like, oh, yeah, I was high. I was like...
I was drunk. I was going to rehab. All right. Good. I hope you're going to get better. I hope you're getting better. But, yeah, no, like, I've heard way worse. But, like, I can't... I mean, a lot of it I feel like does have to do with the NFL.
Yeah.
Just in general. And just how rough because they could have marketed it way better.
They could have. It was not good this year.
Like, who was marketing it? Gary Bettman? Like, come on.
The NHL does suck at marketing.
They do suck at marketing.
Like, Justin, if I say the Four Nations tournament, does that ring a bell at all?
No, but I do know that. But look, I mean,
Exactly.
I could name 4 nations. I just don't know which ones they are that are in this
Exactly.
tournament. Like I'm gonna assume U.S., Canada, probably Russia, and I'm just gonna say like, I don't know. We're gonna say I'm gonna say Mexico.
Sweden.
Oh, Sweden. Did I get 3 out of the 4 at least?
U.S. is correct. Canada's correct. Sweden, and then I think it's Russia.
Sorry, I couldn't tell you.
Wait, let me see.
What?
This is how bad the NHL's marketing is.
I couldn't tell you. I could not tell you what the Four
And
Nations
that's
tournament
the
is.
point I'm trying to make. The NHL's marketing is just horrible. It's it's Canada, U.S., Finland, and Sweden.
Oh, word. Okay.
But
Okay.
Yeah, the marketing.
All right. You know what? You know what? 50% ain't bad. 50% ain't bad.
So let's shift gears. So the NFL season is over. There were a lot of bad teams this year. They were, to put this into perspective, the Bears, who we clowned on all season, had the 10th pick. There were 10 teams with 5 wins or less.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I've ever seen that. So I want to ask you, Justin, why do you think there was so many bad teams this year?
All right, so I said this to you off camera for a little bit after the Super Bowl, and I did tease that I wanted to come on here to talk about this. I think now here's the thing. Back when we had Jake and Justin in the morning, shout out Real Ones Know, we talked about this a couple of years ago with your friend. Is it Glenn Kubiak?
Glenn Kubiak, yeah.
Glenn Kubiak.
My old teacher, yeah.
Glenn
That's
Kubiak.
right.
And we
Glenn,
talked about,
shout him
and
out.
at that time I said, because this was after the Rams-Bengals Super Bowl. It was a good Super Bowl. It was a good game. It was a really good game. Like to see new faces win. I said outside of that Super Bowl, that was the worst season of the NFL I've ever seen.
Yeah.
This is the worst season of the NFL I've ever seen. This is it right here. We're going on 3 years, baby, and I'm still making callbacks. And I'm still, and I, like, you know, we're going back 3 years. I mean, I don't think any season of any league is perfect. I don't think it's supposed to be. I don't think the NCAA should be perfect. NHL, MLB, NBA, even the NFL, I don't think it's perfect. But for the love of God, the NFL is this lucrative, and you can't, and it sucks this bad. It sucks this bad. I mean, some of the things the NFL could not control. And those 2 things are horrendous quarterback play. Actually, 3 things they can't control. Horrendous quarterback play, horrendous coaching, and horrendous special teams.
Yeah.
All of which horrendous. All of which were absolutely horrendous. All of them suck. Look at I want the viewers right now to think about this. And I want you guys to think about 5 quarterbacks that you think played above average to elite. I couldn't name you 5. I can name you 3. I can name you 2. I can name you 1. I can't name you 5. I'll give you Josh Allen. He had the best season of his career. Deserved that MVP. I'll give you Joe Burrow. I'm not giving you. I'll maybe give you Lamar. I'm not giving you Mahomes. I'm not giving you Trevor Lawrence outside of, you know, he did get screwed. I'm not giving you Tua. I'm not giving you Jalen Hurts. I don't care if he won a Super Bowl. He didn't have that good enough of a year. I'm not giving you Drew Lock or Daniel Jones or all those people. Never am. Not giving you Sam Darnold. I'm not giving you Baker. I'm not giving you CJ, Anthony Richardson, Joe Flacco, you know, Deshaun Watson / DTR.
DTR, good guy.
I'm not giving you Brock
awful.
Purdy.
No.
I'm not giving you Justin Herbert.
Not yet, no.
I'm not giving you any.
Year.
I'm not giving you Geno Smith. Okay, maybe Jane Daniels. I'll give you 4. I'm not giving you Caleb either. I'm not giving you Jacoby / Drake. Yeah. Sorry, Patriots fans, I'm not doing it. I'm not saying Drake made his 6 whole games of performance, played absolutely elite. No, didn't work. All right, now can you guys name me 3 kickers that were above average to elite? I'm gonna do the same thing, Jake. I'm sorry if you're tired of hearing me talk, but it's true. I'm not giving you Greg Zuerlein.
No.
Not Justin Tucker, especially all the baggage he's got right
God.
now. Not giving you Harrison Butker because he got hurt. I'm not going to give you, Young Hui Koo or Kaimi Fairbairn. Who am I going to? No, I'm definitely not giving you Jake Moody.
He's so bad.
I'm not giving you Jake Elliott, even though he stepped up. Okay, I'll give you Brandon Aubrey.
He's unbelievable.
I'll give you Brandon Aubrey. He's probably the best player the Cowboys have right now. And it's not even close.
Well, there might be trade Parsons. It's going to be C.B. Lamb, and then probably the second best player is Aubrey.
Yeah, it's probably the best player. Yeah, on that entire team, I think it's Brandon Aubrey. I'll give you that. I'll give you Jake Bates. He did play really well. All the other ones, forget about it. Absolutely not. And coaching across the board, need I say more, was just very, very lackluster. No team really, fully, truly knew what they were doing. It almost seemed like every coach had their hand up their ass. Outside of two, which would be the Chiefs and the Eagles.
Yeah.
Why do I say that? Because they both made the Super Bowl. Clearly they're doing something right. Now, with that, the other side of it, though, I have to blame the NFL. Mm-hmm. You cannot let these players walk all over these teams. Brandon Ayuk sat out, was a baby the whole time, asked for money, begged, pleaded for money, and played like shit, and then got hurt. And we're going to reward him for that? Jamar Chase, same thing. Why is the league okay with this? Mm-hmm. Why are they okay with this? Kickoff rule is a failure. No kickoff thing is a failure. I mean, I don't think about it enough to care. Off the onside kick rule, you're taking the strategy out of your game with the onside kick rule. Oh yeah, we need to be down by a certain, and also you have to let them know. You have to tell the other team, all right, what the fuck's the point of that? It's almost like me sitting at the casino, and I'm betting my entire house on blackjack. And the first thing I do, and the first thing I do is show the deal. Well, no, not that, but it's like I'm playing poker against other people, and I got my house bet on it. And the first thing I do is show the other team my hand, and I tell them, hey, I got ace high, 1-4. And a pair of twos. You gonna beat that? Like I'm really gonna fucking like why would I show my hand in a sport?
Exactly.
In a sport. Like I've never okay, I'm gonna give you the floor because it's technically your show. But this is the worst NFL season I've ever seen.
This was bad, and also these owners need to keep their hands out of it. Let's go through every one of the teams in the top 10. This is another thing with the problem. The Titans, the owner over there, she fired Vrabel to keep the GM and fired the GM. That didn't make a lot of sense. The Browns, don't even get me started. John Mara's a joke. The 4th pick is the Patriots. All right, Robert Kraft, he's done it. He's a good businessman.
Shad Khan sucks.
Shad Khan is brutal.
Mark Davis is not that good.
Mark Davis is. I don't know what's worse, his haircut or the way he runs his football team. Woody, don't even get me started. That guy is a clown.
You could already look at another episode for Woody. You could watch an episode of Talk Sport Jake to hear about Woody.
Exactly.
Dave Tepper's a joke.
Dave Tepper's a joke.
The Saints owner has like nothing but bad things with that stuff.
She's not great. She's too involved
with the stuff she's doing with the allegations and stuff. She's actually worse than Woody Johnson. Believe it or not. At that point. And then, Woody Johnson's an idiot, but he's not a criminal.
No. And then the McCaskey family is just a joke.
Yeah.
You know what's bad? When CM Punk goes on freaking the NFL's little pregame show, because he's a big Chicago guy, big Bears fan, and says the Bears will be stuck until they sell the team. When CM Punk is saying it, of all people.
I mean, CM Punk is also, CM Punk also likes to be outspoken.
He speaks his mind, for sure. I mean, if not, he's reigned himself in his older age, but watch his pipe bomb from
2014, right? 11 even.
God,
wow.
I cannot believe it's been. Can't believe it's been that long. I feel so old. I remember watching that.
Yeah, we're unks now.
We are unks, but yeah, like the quarterback play was really bad. You said it yourself. There's 4 or 5 true elite quarterbacks. Like freaking 10 years ago, there was probably 10 or 12 of those guys.
Yeah.
And the coaching has gotten really bad. I mean, every year I feel like down the stretch there's like 12 coaches. I feel like these guys aren't cutting it every year. Usually there's no more than like 5 in past years, and there's some bad ownership. And also the officiating has gotten just embarrassing.
Yeah, it's gotten bad.
It's gotten also. I don't understand. The NFL brings in more revenue than the MLB.
That's what I'm saying.
The NHL.
That's what I'm saying. Spit. Go spit.
MLB, the NBA, and the NHL. It's not even particularly close, and they're the only sport that does not hire full-time refs. I don't get it. I don't understand.
Yeah, they like Roger Goodell has a freaking money machine in his hands.
Yeah.
And yet he somehow finds a way to shoot himself in the foot every single time.
Yeah, I don't get it. And he also brought up the player empowerment. That's another thing. It's really bad in the NBA. It's probably even worse in the NBA, honestly. But in the NFL, it's pretty much almost as bad.
It's really bad. It's the worst in the NBA, and then because
NFL, it's really bad. I mean, also holdouts don't work because now the players are rusty. It takes time for them.
At least NBA players don't hold out. That's the only thing I'll say. They don't hold out. I mean, Joel Embiid just gets hurt. He doesn't hold out though.
He's not purposely holding out. It's just his body just
doesn't
dead.
work. It just doesn't work.
It doesn't work anymore. It's overrated. Yeah, but like. Fucking the holdouts, like, it creates tension in the locker, and they're like, if you're not here, like why should I respect you? It's, also now it hurts their performance, and also, like, that would be like if I asked for a raise at my job, and then I just don't show up, and then, like, my boss is like, well, if you're not going to show up, I'm not going to give you a raise. Like show up to work. So, like, because Brandon Ayuk, Jamar Chase
and I proceed to throw a tantrum and take my pants off.
that was ridiculous.
Like Brandon Ayuk throwing a tantrum, taking off his pants,
Yeah.
Because he has to change his pants. Like, buddy, that's the coach. Show some respect to your coach.
Exactly.
Like, did you not learn anything in way back even in, like, your elementary school rec football days to respect your coach? It doesn't matter if you're making more money than him.
Yeah.
You have to respect the coach, no matter what.
Yeah, exactly. But that is the state of the NFL. The Saints finally found the coach, by the way. Kellen Moore goes from offensive coordinator of Super Bowl winning Eagles to head coach of the Saints. I don't even know if that's even an upgrade for him.
It's probably an upgrade in terms of paycheck.
Yeah.
Probably in a raise because head coaches probably do making more than assistant coaches. Yeah. I wouldn't know, though. But, I mean, I can see both sides to the argument. Some people are saying that, okay, if you're Kellen Moore, why would you leave a team that is so, like, that you won with, keep it rolling. You have a team that could probably last you a very long time, potentially a dynasty level team with that incredible defense and that incredible offense as well. I just don't know. And I can understand why people would say it's a stupid idea. On the other side, though, I can understand that it's clear you're a proven OC. I guess, to some extent.
There's only 32 of these NFL head coach jobs.
Yeah, only 32 of them. There's only 32 of them, and if a team calls you and says, "Hey, I want you. I like what you can do," take it. You might as well take it.
And also, teams, pay attention to when the guys like picky and choosy,
Ben Johnson.
Exactly. And then, like, if Kellen Moore, is like, here's a guy who's not on a ton of teams' radar, but, a couple of teams give him a chance, and he's like, no, I don't love this situation. Teams next year might not have called him.
Yeah, it's just like, take the job.
Yeah,
just take it. They want you. Take the job.
Also, his stock's never going to be higher. You just want a Super Bowl.
Yeah, the dude just want to. Yeah, take it. Strike while the iron's hot. The only thing I'll say to Kellen Moore, who may or may not be listening to this, he's probably not listening to it.
I doubt it.
But I doubt it. But if he is, just like you should not expect him to get away with the offense, with his offensive play calling that he did in Philly.
Yeah.
He was able to get away with a lot because he had the skill to get away with, because players had the skill to get away with a lot. First of all, the line was incredible.
Yes.
Mine was one of the best I've
offensive
ever
line in
seen.
the league, yeah.
Best offensive line in the league. I want that team. If I want that line, if I'm the Jets, I want it personally. The Chiefs probably want that line now. Mahomes probably wants that line. Look at how the offensive line just exploded last on Sunday because they sucked. Juwan Taylor. Oh yeah, guys, watch out, Joe Thuney. No, I'm kidding. It's Creed Humphrey, guys. But like with the Cowboys, I thought he was an okay OC.
Schottenheimer, yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, Kellen Moore was on the OC.
Yeah, he was fine.
Kellen Moore was an okay OC on the Cowboys, and then he goes to the Eagles. He definitely had a better year because look at the team that was around him. Let me tell, you're not going to be able to do what you did with Jalen Hurts and Saquon and A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, Dallas Goedert, with Derek Carr / Jake Hayner / Spencer Rattler, Taysom Hill, Alvin Kamara, and Chris Olave.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to do it. It's just not happening. But, I want to see what the Saints can do about this. The problem is they're looking at Brandon Staley as their DC.
I know.
And Kellen Moore, that's not a very nice start, if you ask me.
It is not. That is not going to do anybody any favors. But yeah, that is the NFL rundown. Let's shift gears to basketball. So, Justin, as you guys all know, is a Heat fan. The last time I had you on the show, we talked about Jimmy Butler. He had not quite been traded yet. Now he has been traded. He goes to the Golden State Warriors. In return, the Heat got a couple players, but they get the first-round pick. So, do you think the Heat did a good job in their return?
So Pat Riley's reward for this is he gets one whole episode of me not ripping into him. He gets one whole episode of me not ripping into him. So very nice, Pat Riley. Good job. Pat Riley did the best he could. Mm-hmm. He really did. Jimmy was not making it easy for him.
No.
I don't think it would be easy for any, front office guy, like him or not. It makes their life incredibly difficult, especially because now less teams want them because of the baggage that comes with it. I do think they got a lot of youth, which I like. I do appreciate that. Andrew Wiggins is still young. He's still pretty good. Davion Mitchell I like a lot. Great defensive piece. Essentially a younger P.J. Tucker, which we did get in that trade, but they got flipped to Toronto, which is fine. And then Kyle Anderson, too, I think could be a nice bench piece. What I really like is the two firsts, is the first-round pick. Because the way it could work is that if the Warriors do not get a top 10 pick, but they get the 11th pick, the Heat get it.
Yeah.
And because the Heat aren't doing so well, you now have a potential of going back-to-back with picks.
Yeah.
And that's something I really, really enjoy. Because this draft is not incredible, but it's much, much better than last year's. It's way better than last year's. People with a lot higher ceiling.
Yeah.
Sure, you're not going to get Cooper Flagg. You're not going to get Cooper Flagg. If you get Cooper Flagg with the 11th pick, then he must have had the worst interview of all time. Something must have happened to where Cooper Flagg is going 11th.
Yeah.
But I would. But you could still get some great guys. I mean, if you think about it, the number 1 overall pick does matter a lot. But if you think about it, the Heat's greatest player of all time was the 3rd overall pick with Dwayne Wade. 3rd overall pick right there. So I personally like what they got out of him. Goodbye, Jimmy. I hope you're happy. You're winning games. Not sure how I'm supposed to feel about that. I don't like the whole thing that you basically looked like you intentionally didn't play well so then you could leave.
Yeah.
Not a fan of that. Didn't respect it at all. But goodbye, Jimmy. I wish you well. Don't know how I feel about Andrew Wiggins taking your number. But it is what it is. And all right, the madness is over.
It is, and you're right. They did the best they could. Andrew Wiggins is a good player, decent scorer. He's turned to a very good defender. He's a good player. He's turned into a pretty good leader. Davion Mitchell is still very young. He's really good defensively. That's a nice piece to get back. To get you end up flipping Dennis Schroeder. Kept getting flip-flop like crazy. You get the first-round pick. Considering Golden State's got Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, and a couple of other guys, I doubt they will be in the top 10, so he will have 2 first-round picks.
Yeah, also, by the way, Warriors fans, you're not winning a chip with this team.
Not.
You're not winning a chip with this team.
They are not.
Your team has no depth. You're not even running a center, by the way. Your starting lineup has no center involved.
Yeah.
At all. You have Draymond at the 4, and then Jimmy at the 3, and then you got 3 guards playing. And I was supposed to be threatened.
Like, their lineup is now Steph, I guess Podziemski, Butler.
Podziemski's in the starting lineup.
Really?
It's Moses Moody, I think.
Moses Moody, Butler, Kuminga, and Draymond run the 5, and then their bench is Buddy Hield, Podziemski.
I think Buddy
Looney.
Hield's actually starting. Never mind.
Who?
I think it's Buddy Hield over Moses Moody, actually.
Right,
But yeah,
yeah,
but
that's
it's
right,
like,
yeah.
But it's Podziemski, who I do like. Yeah, and then it would be Moses Moody, Kayvon Looney, and then Post or something, whatever the hell his first name is.
Yeah, like, to me, it's still on a championship team. Steph's still a great player, but he's much older. Draymond's old.
Washed.
Yeah, Buddy Hield can shoot, but that's about it. We're gonna.
Like, you already have Steph Curry who did that already. Like it's nothing new. Oh yeah, I could shoot the 3. So good Steph Curry.
Exactly.
You're not getting more touches than Steph Curry.
Like, Kuminga's a really good player. Podziemski's good. Looney's a good rebounder to have. But other than that, there isn't a. And Butler's really good. So they have a good team.
I did want Podziemski, to be honest
Yeah.
with you, but like they're horrendously overvaluing him.
I know.
It's kind of disgusting. I kind of want to puke.
And then like, they have a good team. Like, if I were to rank the championship odds in the West, it's probably Oklahoma City. I think Denver still has a good shot. The Lakers with Luka probably have a better shot now. And then it's probably them. Like, Memphis and Houston have been quietly good this year, but still not sure if they're title contenders. So maybe Golden State's got the 4th best team in the West, but even so, they're staring a second-round exit in the face still.
Yeah, at best, I think.
At best, so they got better with the Butler trade, but they're not winning a championship. This is an aging core. They got some young pieces. You have Jonathan Kuminga, you have Brandon Podziemski. Other than that,
Yeah, and
Steph's at the end. Draymond is at the end.
yeah, and Jimmy also signed a 2-year extension there. So really, if you think about it, this core essentially has 3 years to get 2.5 years to get a championship.
Yeah.
Because who knows what's going to happen after that contract ends?
Yeah.
Who knows if Jimmy retires or not? Who knows if Steph retires at that point?
Yeah.
Who knows if Draymond retires at that point? People are slowly approaching the end, like you said.
Yeah, like they're, and like also it's not like they acquired a Butler who's 28. He's 35 years old.
Yeah, no, old fuck.
So
Unk.
he's
Fucking unk.
yeah. So that team is they necessarily get younger. Meanwhile, the Heat did, because Andrew Wiggins is still like probably in his late 20s. Davion Mitchell is really young. You get a 1st-round pick, so the Heat made out actually pretty well. Plus, you get Kyle Anderson, who's nothing special, but nothing else. He's another defender on the bench.
Well, at least I know that if we were to play the Timberwolves, he'd be public enemy number 1 would be Rudy Gobert. He'll fight Rudy Gobert again, like he did last time.
Yeah, he's not a fan of Gobert.
I don't know if anyone's a fan of Rudy. I don't even think Rudy's a fan of Rudy.
Rudy, yeah, he's not a very likable guy, and to me, very overrated to me.
Yeah, good defender, but like can't do anything else. I mean, he'll give up 2, but he'll drop 1.
Too much drop 1, yeah, exactly.
Get to the stripe once, brick, and then make the second.
That's right. So, couple other big trades. Obviously, Mavs Lakers. Luka to the Lakers. Can you even? I still can't figure out why they did this. Can you?
Guys, for all you know, I mean, I just need to let something known for you guys. I'm fat as fuck. I'm going to the Lakers. I've been traded to the Lakers. I'm a fat fuck, and I got traded to the Lakers. That should be on a T-shirt.
I'm a fucking traded to the Lakers. Yeah.
It's. I can't understand it, but I do want to say this because we could talk about this forever. We could talk about this trade forever.
Yeah.
Here's what I do want to say. I'll get your take. It's the craziest trade in sports history, in my opinion.
Probably.
I can't say anything crazier than that. That being said, Mavericks fans, it was a dumb decision, dumb trade. But please stop sending death threats to Nico Harrison. Let me tell you something. The owners and the front office, hell, even the fucking players, they don't know you, little bro.
They don't.
They don't know you. Do you know how much they owe you?
Nothing.
Nothing. They owe you nothing. Nico Harrison could trade away the entire team if he wanted to, and it wouldn't make a lick of difference because they don't owe you anything. They just don't. It's too late now to get it back. Don't send death threats to the guy because he made a stupid decision. It's just the wrong thing to do. Racial slurs, are you kidding?
That's terrible.
Like, grow up. Grow up. At the end of the day, it's only a sport.
Yeah.
It's not your livelihood here. It's not yours. Actually, as a matter of fact, you should be feeling bad for Luka and for Anthony Davis, who got blindsided out of nowhere and have to move their entire life and family to a completely different part of the country.
Yeah.
That's who you should be feeling bad for.
Yeah.
But don't be a dick.
Exactly.
And send death threats to people. It's shitty. That being said, very strange trade.
Yeah. So I don't think people can wrap their head around. I don't think people realize how bad this is. So you trade Luka, who's 25 years old, one of the best players, one of the 10 best players in the league, 5-time first team All NBA, just took your team to the finals in this past summer because he's out of shape.
Because I'm fat.
because he's overweight.
He's fat as fuck. He goes to league.
Because you basically said he's fat, get out. You trade the guy with conditioning issues for maybe the most injury-prone player in the league outside of Joel Embiid. Anthony Davis had a great first half, 24-13, couple of blocks, and then gets hurt.
And his balls exploded.
Basically, his nuts just had a seizure or something. I don't know what happened. Now he's out for a month. His first game as a Maverick.
His first half as a Maverick.
You can't write that. Okay.
Not even Triple H could make such a script.
Yeah, I was gonna say, not even Triple H or Shawn Michaels could have written that. You can't write that, okay? Always damage Davis. Oh my God.
Hey man, beauty of sports. Beauty of sports right there. Can't make it up. Cannot make this stuff up.
I can't. So right now, their return is Max Christie and the first round pick in 4 years. So basically a kid.
For a freshman right now. For a freshman in high school right now.
Yeah. You traded him for a 10th grader.
Yeah, like a kid who's like 15, who's got no idea. For 16 and at max.
You traded Luka for always damaged Davis, Max Christie, and a 15-year-old.
Anthony Day-to-Day Davis.
Anthony Day-to-Day Davis, always damaged Davis. It's all the same. Good God.
Yeah, it's a very bad trade. What I do think is kind of cool though, is that like everybody who's into sports can now all say like they knew exactly where they were. When that happens.
I can say exactly. That's one of those moments. I will always be able to tell you exactly where I was.
I mean, look, like I will say, like I know we're talking about it, I know we're criticizing it, but like this is the beauty of sports right here.
It is.
You never know what's going to happen any day, anytime,
Exactly.
and I mean anytime. As you know, Jake, this announcement dropped at midnight.
Yeah.
At midnight, and everybody thought it was fake.
Yeah.
Everybody thought it was fake.
The Mavericks had the whole world thinking the top NBA insider got hacked for 20 minutes straight.
It felt like forever. It felt like 2 days.
It felt like 3 hours, yeah.
It felt like 3 hours, and then Shams comes back. He's like, "This is real," and shit. Like that's when you know the trade was so insane that the top NBA insider drops it, doubles down, and people still think it's fake. That's incredible. That's sports for you. God, I love this field.
By the way, Justin, where were you when this happened?
You know where I was. I was home. I was home. I was recovering from some illness. I was recovering from illness. Is the beginning of my, sickness that I had. Had a bit of the flu. Sorry, guys. It's winter. Big deal. At least I still showed up, unlike Joel Embiid. And I'm sitting in bed. I'm ready to sleep. My phone blows up. I'm like, what? What's going on? All right. By the way, I'm gonna be flat. I'm lying to your face. I was waiting for Korean esports to start. Not gonna lie. Korean esports starts at 3 a.m, so I'm gonna keep it a stack with you. I was awake, but anyway, I rested my eyes a little bit, just a power nap, so I could be ready to analyze some film. Because guys, Guys, I have a college championship in Overwatch.
That's right,
I know
yeah.
I know about Korean esports. Don't worry about it.
That's right.
Ring me. Ring me. Give it to me right now. I don't have. I want it still. I'm still deserving of it, by the way.
That's true.
He's not. Chris Meta isn't here anymore.
Come
so
on, Chris Laird, get him his ring.
Chris Laird isn't here anymore. He's not here anymore. He had a 1-year deal, so I ain't getting that ring anytime soon. But everybody knows I won.
Yes.
Everybody knows we beat the University of Florida to win a collegiate national championship in Overwatch. Anyway, so I'm resting my eyes a little bit. All of a sudden, my phone blows up from Twitter. Like, hey, what is this? And I see Shams. I see it pop up. So I'm Shams. And I saw, the Mavericks made a trade. Okay, that's cool. For Luka! For what? I'm like, what? And I immediately messaged you and Ashton. And I said, I'm like, no fucking way. No fucking way. And Ashton's telling me it's fake. I said to him, I agree. However, if it is not, this is the craziest trade in NBA history. If not. And then he sends out again, this is real. And they're like, no, guys, I think this is real. And Ashton's still saying it's fake. And then there's other replies saying, if it was real, then a picture would have come out and they would have had the jersey swap photo. Let me tell you something. That's not how it works. If you get it first, you have to get it first. He doesn't have time to make a Photoshop jersey swap for the biggest news story. There's no way he's getting the jersey. And then all of a sudden, I run into my mom's room because her TV's working, and she's asleep. And I say, and I see the ticker for SportsCenter, and Bob Combs breaking news, and I'm like, and I send it to you guys. I'm like, surely ESPN is not for a hack thing, right? And then all of a sudden, other people start reposting it. And then the breaking news story comes on, Shams there at the double box, and I'm like, holy shit, this is real. This happened. That's where I was. Where were you?
So,
I know where you were. But where were you?
So, people don't realize Saturday was a crazy day for me. So, night before, I did sideline for Shoe Women's Hockey. A couple of my friends were at the game. Justin also worked the game. He was in the control room. A couple of my friends were at the game as fans. And so I was thinking that I did sideline. I figured I'd try it out. It went okay, I guess. And then, so I go to bed, like, probably 2 in the morning. The next day was the same day was the Royal Rumble for wrestling. So I watched the Royal Rumble. Jey Uso pushes my childhood hero, John Cena, off the apron, eliminates him. At first I was sad, but I was like, you know what, I like Jey Uso. He's been doing this a long time. He deserves it. John Cena will still have a WrestleMania match. It's okay.
John Cena is still a Hall of Famer, all-time great wrestler, arguably top 5 wrestler all time.
Right, yeah.
He's fine.
So, but also, I was screaming all night. I just, and that's like the last 10 minutes was just like Jay and John Cena going at it. So we're all glued to the TV, and then I was up at UConn because I have a friend who goes to school up there. We're at his friend's house. Him and his family hosted a Royal Rumble party. So I finished watching this 4-hour Rumble event. I'm sweating. My throat hurts because I was screaming. My throat was already bothering me because my allergies were killing me all weekend, and now it really is bothering me because I was screaming for 4 hours, and then another friend of mine got sick, so I was I was tending to him. I'm standing in this kid's kitchen, my friend of a friend's kitchen, figuring, and then all of a sudden I get Sleeper, the fantasy football app and fantasy app that I use, gives me notification that Luka and a couple, and Kleba and Morris and a first are going to for AD Christie, or no, AD Christie in the first, which was no pick for Dallas. At first I didn't say anything. I was like, this has got to be fake. Then my eyes kept staring at it. I was like, guys, I think Luka just got traded. And my friend Jacob and his friend Sam, whose house it was, were like, what are you talking about? And then Bleacher Report dropped it. We were like, oh God, Bleacher Report just dropped it. Brandon, who we mentioned earlier, you've seen him on our other show. He comes through, he's like, guys, what's going on? And then, we're trying to scroll through Twitter, got people saying he got hacked, Shams got hacked, got people saying no, it's real. Then you and Ashton and I were texting. I texted my dad, and like my uncle texted me. Then all of a sudden, ESPN reports it, but it was said according to Shams. Wait a minute, if Shams got hacked, like the Shams hacker told ESPN, it's now just a rip-down effect. Then we turn on SportsCenter, and they're reporting it. I was like, oh my god, it's real. So just a wild turn of events.
And then Shams goes on there finally on the double box, and he's like, and even he looks shocked. Even he was
also,
like,
remember, this is like 1 o'clock in the morning at this point.
It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. He's like, and I remember him. To me, it was like, he puts it out, and he's like, yes, guys, this is real, and he's talking about it like he looks in shock. To me, it was the best 40 minutes that ESPN has put on in a very long time. I'm not even kidding.
Probably.
And a lot of it did have to do with Shams.
Yeah.
Shams did some incredibly good journalism.
He did.
That day. And look, he's been having a great year.
Oh, yeah.
He's been hitting. Woj must be pissed. He must be pissed. Because this is probably, we could sit here for the next 3 hours and debate. Like, if it was you, me, Ashton, and Brandon right now, we could sit here and have at least a 2-hour debate of if this is the craziest trade in sports history.
Yeah.
I personally think it is.
I think it is too. At least of our lifetime.
I don't know if there's even anything past that.
Yeah.
To where you could even consider it. I mean, a player in the prime of his career getting traded, kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's just insane, and just to, it's one of those things, you know, we will always remember exactly where we were.
Yeah, what we were doing that day.
And what we were doing. Exactly. It's one of those crazy moments. Yeah. But to close out with the De'Aaron Fox trade. So what do you think about that trade?
Oh yeah, because that was the biggest trade that happened there. Totally. Biggest trade. Good trade for the Spurs.
Definitely.
Great trade for the Spurs. Weird thing for the Kings. Kings front office and ownership needs to be fully scrapped.
Yeah.
You fire Mike Brown for no reason. He took you guys to the playoffs, second seed, no less. I mean, they haven't really done much with building around that team.
No.
I mean, Sabonis might as well have just stayed on the Pacers at this point.
Yeah.
It's like the team is old. It's just old and expensive.
Yeah.
And it's not very sexy. No. Spurs, however, are going to get way better from this.
Yeah, Fox, Wembanyama, a lot of our young guys over there.
Yeah, I still Stephon Castle. Unfortunately, Craig Popovich is still out. Hopefully, he's okay. But like, if Greg Popovich was coaching this team right now, they probably would be favored to win a championship.
Probably.
Like, if he didn't have a stroke, once again, hopefully he's okay. Might retire after this. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
But this is looking like a really, really good team. Really exciting team. Probably since Kawhi's left, looking really pretty. And I'm really enjoying what they're building over there.
Oh, yeah. For sure. And you got Fox and Castle. When Wembanyama, you also got like Vassell and Soch and Kelvin. That team is really good.
That team is very good. And they weeded out some people they didn't need. Like Zach Collins wasn't doing much for them anyway.
Yeah.
Get him out. You could get him out. It wasn't really that.
Trey Jones wasn't a factor.
That big of a lot. Trey Jones wasn't a factor. Like they really did keep all the pieces they needed, while also making that team way, way better.
Yeah.
I don't even hate that Chris Paul's on that team. It's a nice veteran presence. Yeah. But I still don't understand why he's starting. Stephon Castle's the rookie of the year, in my opinion.
Probably. At this point.
And he should be starting. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, I mean, look, the Kings got 6 draft picks back and Zach LaVine. I mean, LaVine's a good player. He's not a great player, but he's a good player. So they got a good return for Fox. But what are the Bulls doing? What are they trying to do?
I think since Derrick Rose got hurt, they've had no vision.
Like, they didn't get... Like, they have some young pieces that they've gotten from selling off these guys. You know, guys I've drafted between Aya DeSumo and Kobe White. Even Josh Giddey, I think, is a talented player. But they didn't get a single draft pick back for Alex Caruso, DeMar DeRozan, or Zach LaVine.
Yeah, it's kind of nuts.
They haven't traded Vucevic for, I don't know why he's even still on that team.
They didn't get anything for Kevin Huerter. like to get Kevin Herter.
They might be buying him out. Like, I don't understand like what they're trying to do.
Yeah, I don't know. That front office just been a wreck. It's just been downhill.
Like they had freaking John Paxson and Gar Forman for years, and the fans hated it. They got rid of them. They brought in the guy Karnisovas from Denver, and if everyone was so excited, it's fresh air, and it's basically been the same thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just I don't. Again, there's a couple of pieces there. Kovalchuk has turned into a good player. I like Dosunmu. I like Josh Giddey, but just they've gotten some good young players in these trades. But they've gotten a single draft pick for those three guys.
It really does suck to say it, but it's true. The Chicago Bulls have become irrelevant.
They have. They are completely irrelevant.
Which is a shame, considering there was one time before we existed that they were very relevant, and then even a time when we did exist during the Derrick Rose era, where they were still very relevant. So that does. So it really is a shame. I mean, Patrick Williams is not a good player.
No.
Their entire team consists of good young talent with some really bad veterans and a really bad coach. I don't like Billy Donovan.
He's terrible.
He's not a good head coach. What are we seeing in Mr. Billy over here?
He's the David Quinn of the NBA to me. He's a good college coach, but in the pros, I mean, David Quinn, he got the job with the Rangers, wasn't great. Then went to San Jose, and the team is horrible, but also he didn't do a good job. Billy Donovan was great at Florida. Then he gets the job at OKC. Was just kind of Also, Chicago hasn't been good. Just like, dude,
he's the Brandon Staley of the NBA.
he needs to go back to college where he belongs.
Yeah, gotta go back. It's okay. You could be a great college coach, or can you?
Exactly.
Or can you?
But all right, that's all we got for you guys today. Justin, thank you for coming on.
Yes, sir.
And mock draft is coming out soon. Justin's face will be on camera for that for sure.
I don't know. We'll see what I'm doing. I'm either be behind the scenes and you'll hear me.
That's right.
Or I'll be in front. We'll see what the panel is.
We're gonna try to get some other people on this as well. But until next time, so long. Have a great day.
Bye, guys.